Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Melissa and we're having a thunderstorm, just in case you hear something weird. So today I'm going to break it down with this Tartist Pro palette. It is one that I picked up recently in a haul, and you all were very interested in getting a little bit more inspiration from this palette, and we're going to talk about that today. Before we get into the looks that I created today to share with you, I just wanted to break down the palette a little bit. Basically, all of these square shadows are mattes, and these round shadows are duochromes. And what I have learned since playing around with this, that pretty much each row creates like a color story. So you can pull colors from each row and create a really seamless look. But additionally, this column here, when I swatched this initially, I made a comment in the video that I thought these shadows were a little dry. They didn't seem like the same formula as the first ones in the row, and they're not. These are really liner shadows. Go figure. When you break it down that way, you really can seamlessly put together a look using each row, and I'll show you how you can even take a look, like a matte look that you've brought to work, and turn it into like a dinner look, you know, going out after work, just by adding another color to it. So one of the things I really like to do when I'm breaking down a palette for myself is to identify shades that I feel can be used singularly on their own, a one and done look, because I think sometimes you're really busy and that's all you have time for, and you just want to have an uncomplicated one shadow look that you can take for running errands or take out to the store, and you know you're gonna look good. And so I identified several shades in this palette for myself that I thought, oh, these are going to be perfect one and done looks. And I'm going to include a little graphic here so you can see them on the palette. They are Fierce, No Filter, Pro Fresh, Indie, Edgy, and surprisingly, one of the duochromes, Minx, I think makes a beautiful one and done look if you blend it out. So this is by far my favorite one shadow look. It comes off as being a little bronzy with a little bit of shimmer. It's super easy. You just put it on the lid, you blend up, maybe add a little extra in the crease, and then you're done. Because it is a duochrome, it changes and shifts with the light, and I think it makes it super interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and insert footage here, applying a couple of different looks for you. I have 3 looks. The first one is what I would call like a basic work look. So I achieved this look by using Chic on a kind of a fluffy brush, a pretty big shader brush, and just put that all the way from my lash to my brow bone and blended it away really well. And in the crease I put No Filter. And for liner, I used the shade Drama, and I just used that a little bit under the lash line. So I wanted to brighten the look up a little bit, and so I went into Vintage and just put that under my brow just a little bit because I felt it just needed to be brightened up, and I blended that into the crease color. So this next look is what I would call like a date night look, one that you could wear to work, bring your palette, add this extra color to it, and you're all fancied up to meet someone special for dinner, or a after work function that you want to like zhuzh up your look a little bit without being over the top. I'm going to start off with Edgy. Here, all over a big shadow brush, and I'm going to blend that all the way from my lash line to my crease. Yeah, it looks pretty dark to do that, doesn't it? But you'll see why I'm doing it in a little bit. So I'm just going to go ahead, gently tap that on to place the color. And I'm just going to blend this out and up into my crease a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and take a little brush like this and go into Vintage to put that a little bit under my brow bone to brighten it up a little bit. Then I'm going to take this flat shader brush again. I'm cleaning it off on this little thing, this little color switch sponge, which is life-changing. And the color I'm going to put on my lid is Ethereal, which is this color right up here. It's one of the duochromes, and it's like a rosy gold. And this I'm going to gently pat and spread on my lid to give it a little brightness. Ooh, thunder. Yeah, it's storming here. I'm going to take a little smudgy brush and I'm going to go back into Edgy, this brown shade right here. And this is what I'm going to put on my along my lower lash line, just to kind of tie it all together. And the last look that I have is the one I've been wearing throughout this video, and this is what I would call a smoky eye look. And I think this is really fantastic. It's smoky, it has a little pop of color. It's using that blue-green shade down here that really has a brown shift to it, so it doesn't look too over the top in terms of being too colorful. It's just like the right amount of color. We're gonna start off by taking a flat shader brush, like that, in the shade Trendy, which is this blue shade here, which it has like a brown shift to it, so don't be scared by that. You'll see when it's on my eye. And this is gonna just go right on the lid, the mobile part of my eye, and I'm just going to gently press it on. I need to make sure my primer is dry. And just kind of press it on. Press, gently press. Maybe a little bit of motion across the lid. Because we're going to put a color in the crease, it doesn't matter really like how accurate you are, so just do the best you can. So in my crease, I'm going to use the shade Fierce, and I think I'm going to go onto a brush like this. It's just one of my favorite shader brushes from Japanesque. And I'm going to go into this shade here, which is a purpley taupe matte color. And I'm going to just place this in my crease. You know, and blend it between what's on my lid a little bit and bring it up. You know, and I'm checking, because I have those hooded eyes, you want to make sure that you have enough of the color showing above your actual crease to give your eye some definition. So I like to just start by tapping a little bit in the area that I want to go. And just gently build this up a little bit. And gradually go into some like little circular motions. Then I'm going to take a blending brush that has no color on it and just kind of soften that a little bit more. And then once I'm done pretty much blending that, I'm going to go under the brow with this shade, just right up here. But I feel like I just need a little bit of brightness there. And blend it down just a tiny bit into the crease color. I'm going to go back to the flat shader brush into Edgy and just touch that color up on my lid a little bit, because you can see there's a little bit of the color got blended away. So I want to even that up a little so it looks seamless. So I'm going to just go in with a little bit of concealer and just hit like a little bit under my eyes. There was, you know, you lose a little bit of that brightness. And when you're wearing like a smoky eye look, you don't want to look like you've been out all night already, just fresh out of the gate. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pat that in, brighten that up a little bit, and then we'll finish up the eye. So much better. And then for my liner shade and under my lash line, I'm gonna go into the darkest liner shade here called Punk, and just blend that a little bit under my lower lash line. And I'm also taking it and just going along my upper waterline in really like into the lashes a little bit. I'm not a big liner girl because I don't have a lot of real estate on my lid, but using the tight line can give great definition to the eye. And I'm going to apply some mascara and I'll be right back. Really, almost no fallout from these shadows. So I think this palette really has it all. I think, you know, it has tons of mattes to use. It has some of the shimmery duochrome shades to jazz up your look when you want to be a little jazzy, and it has some liner shades in there. It also hits different color tone notes. This top row is very much what I would call a warm tone row. It's very, you know, warm neutrals. The next row is like a cool tone row of neutrals. It's probably my favorite row in the palette because that's what I like. The third row has what, you know, you're seeing everywhere. It has some of that cranberry dark red shadow in there that you can take advantage of, so it's a little bit more trendy. And then the bottom row is just a really good basic neutral row that you can, it's really a workhorse of this palette. I'm so excited about this palette. I really have enjoyed playing around with it, using it. I think it would be great palette if you are traveling because you can have so many different looks, and it's not like incredibly gigantic to pack. It's fairly compact. There's a lot of bang for your buck in there, and I think it would travel well because it's got that like hard plastic. So I think it's, you know, something that could serve you well, and it also has a very large mirror. So it hits all the key points. So I'm really excited to have added this palette to my collection. I think it brings something unique to the table because it does do a multitude of things. And that's what I'm looking for, something that's going to bring something a little bit more unique to my collection. I already have a lot of palettes, so now I'm looking for those things that are going to bring something special. So I upload videos every Saturday morning, and I will include a link to last week's video up here. If you're new to my channel and just stopping by for the first time and you liked this content, go ahead and hit this little bee icon here, and that'll take you to the subscription page on my channel, and you can subscribe, hit the little bell, you know the drill. and I'll see you at the next video. Thank you so much, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.